This is LaserBolt and welcome to another Outriders video, guys. Today I'm going to present you with one of the best builds for the Pyromancer. Now this particular build, guys, is going to focus on three core elements. Number one is being able to complete objectives really fast, really easily. It's going to focus on being able to high prioritize a boss and melt him really fast. And number three, it's going to prioritize in being able to kill multiple ads at the same time. So if all of this sounds like something you're definitely interested, a like would be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to drop a comment. And most importantly, guys, subscribe to the channel, turn on all your notifications so you guys won't miss our Outriders coverage. And if you love shooters like I do, then this is definitely the channel you want to stay tuned to, because we're going to have you guys completely covered with everything that has to do with the world of shooters. So make sure you guys keep it locked here. Now, if you want to show a little bit more love and support, do consider becoming part of the Bolt Nation by clicking that join button down below. It does help us out a lot, and we'd love to have you here. Plus, you get the LaserBolt luck, which is always a big plus. So let's talk about this Pyromancer build, guys. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of gameplay. I'm going to show you guys like about 5 to 6 minutes of me using this build and going through certain missions, so you guys can get a better idea of what we're doing with the build. Then at the end, I will come back and explain what we're doing, what weapons we're using, what mods we're using, and break it down so you guys can understand how this build works. Now, one thing I do want to let you guys know, this build is meant for speedrunning. It's meant for you to be able to do things fast. It's meant for you to be able to clear missions really quickly. It is a little bit squishy, so you're going to want to make sure you play different angles and are able to kind of engage the battles a little bit different. So do keep that in mind. Now, with that being said, enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and I'll see you guys towards the end.
You won't look after my wounds. I suppose you will never regret it. I should throw myself out from the roof, 'cause you fucking love it when I fade. 'Cause you won't look after my wounds. I suppose you will never regret it. I should throw myself out from the roof, 'cause you fucking love it when I fade. Cause you won't look after my wounds. I suppose you will never regret it. I should throw myself out from the roof, 'cause you fucking love it when I fade. 'Cause you won't look after my wounds. I suppose you will never regret it. I should throw myself out from the roof, 'cause you fucking love it when I fade.
Alright, so as you guys saw there, guys, I did want to show you guys a couple clips of us using the build, seeing how it works. So let's take a look at the gears we're going to be using. Let's take a look at the class and the skill. For the class, let's go ahead and break it down first and tell you guys exactly what you're using, so this all makes sense when we go over the mods and when we go over the skills. So first and foremost, guys, we're using the Pyromancer. Of course, we're picking up weapon damage. We're also going to be picking, being able to get cooldown for our abilities. We're going to be using another weapon damage against marked enemies. It's extremely important. You guys keep that in mind, okay? So we're always going to be marking to get this weapon damage, okay? Next up, guys, we're going to have enemies afflicted with ash receive 10 more damage, because we are going to be afflicting ash constantly. We're going to also be increasing weapon damage against, once again, marked enemies. We have activate your immobilize skill, increases your anomaly power. So we're tapping into that anomaly power because our weapons are going to be primarily focusing on a lot of anomaly. We also have increased resistant piercing, increased weapon damage, again, increased weapon damage, and then we have more increased weapon damage. We also are going to be picking every time ash is inflicted on an enemy, vulnerability status effect as well. So this is extremely important because when you apply the ash, that means that the enemy is going to be vulnerable, allowing you guys to do even more damage, because what this does, it makes your hits become even more stronger. Then we also have decreased reload times. We also have increased damage against elites by 10%. Elites deal 10 less more damage, so it gives you a little bit more survivability. Enemies afflicted with Ash receive 10 more damage. And last but not least, guys, we have Immobilized skill cooldown, which is going to allow you to reduce the skill cooldown. Now, in addition to that, we're also going towards the bottom, and we're picking up increase your anomaly power by 10%. We're picking up increase your skill damage by 8% against marked enemies. We're picking up anomaly power. And we're also picking up increased weapon damage, anomaly power by 5%. And last but not least, we're going to decrease all your skill cooldown by 10%. So this is going to allow us to have our skill cooldowns very, very low. And it's talking about skill cooldown, let's talk about how fast we're going to be getting everything. So for the heat wave, guys, we're going to have 7.9. For the overheat, we're going to have 6.6. And for the ash blast, we're going to have 9.9. Now, I wish we were able to get this a little bit further down, like maybe in the 7 category. That would be amazing, but from so far, this is what we've been able to put together. Now, what exactly are we using to actually make this build pretty effective? So let's start off, of course, first things first, let's start off with the weapons. So for the weapons, guys, our main weapon that we're using is the Funeral Pyre. Now, this is going to be extremely important because this is what's going to allow us, guys, to be able to do a ton of damage to enemies that are a little bit further distance while our skills are in cooldown. And when enemies have Ash applied to them or bosses, it's going to allow us to do a ton of damage. We're combining Shadow Comet, and then we're also have applied the Weakness Trap, which is going to cause explosion, dealing 195 damage, and inflict weakness on enemies within 5-meter radius of the target, which is really awesome. So Shadow Comet with weakness makes it a very, very good viable option. Next up, guys, we're running the anime. This one's going to Moaning Winds, and then Radiational Splash, which applies vulnerability. This is going to allow us to apply vulnerability even though we don't have Ash active, which is going to make the enemy very soft and be able to kill it really quickly. In addition to this, guys, this is the combo that we use when we're dealing with bosses, which I'll explain a little bit later at the end of the video. Last but not least, guys, we're running Torment and Agony, Moaning Winds, and Clip Combustion. Alright, so for our gear, guys, this is what we're running. We're going to be running the Burnout and Tidal Wave mods. I wish this helmet dropped with better stats. I do want to have cooldown reduction. Pretty much the stats I have on this glove, which is cooldown reduction and anomaly power and status power, is what I wish I had here. And that's what you should be targeting, because this is the only helmet that I had with this particular loadout. But that's what I would recommend. Now, of course, for our chest piece, we're going to be running the armor or the Akari, anomaly power, skill life leech, cooldown reduction. And this comes with Detonator, which is the standard mod that we're going to be keeping. And then we went ahead and put Ash Increased Range, which is Ash Blast. So that's going to allow us to have Ash applied to multiple enemies at a further distance. We're also using the Waste of the Akari. We're keeping the Anomaly Echo, but we went ahead and put Captain Hunter in here, which is going to increase your damage against elites. Really important. You guys see me how fast I'm able to melt the elites really quick and really easily. Then we have here, guys, we have the gloves, which we have dropped Ash Boost with. So that's what you're going to be targeting. And we put in here Fire Tsunami, which allows you to increase the width of the firewall of the heat wave, which allows you to do a ton of damage to enemies and funnel them really easily. And last but not least, guys, we have the Boots of the Akari. We're keeping the Master Consumer, which is going to allow you to get consume either burn or ash status to deal damage. And we applied Death Sentence here, which is your weapon damage and anomaly damage against enemies afflicted by the skill are increased by 40% and 30% for 8 seconds. Really important because that allows us to melt enemies really fast once they have Ash or Burn applied to them. So, very simple. I'll explain the combos of how you guys want to do this. So, when you guys are playing the game, first and foremost, you're going to want to do your Heat Wave, 2 Heat Waves. Then, you guys, you're going to go ahead and hit the right bumper and apply Ash. And when you apply Ash, you're then going to want to hit him with that one because that's going to apply damage. And that's pretty much going to melt any enemy that's in your way that doesn't have a high health bar. You're going to do that once again. And when you're fighting a boss, Heat Wave, apply Ash, then burn him. And then you're going to hit him with the Pyre. And then you just come here and then reload and hit him like that. It's just going to insta melt the boss. You're probably going to have to do another Pyre shot to have that comet drop. But other than that, the boss should be dead with that just simple combo. Now, theoretically, you could actually lead up with a comet, then go 1, 2, hit him with that combo, and then boom, and then just finish them off with this, and then come back with another rocket, and then you guys are good to go. The boss is automatically melted very fast and very easily. Like I said, this build is a little bit squishy, so you're going to want to make sure you play your angles, you watch your corners. But other than that, guys, this build is extremely, extremely powerful. If you want a build that's going to help you clear stuff fast, does a ton of damage, then this is the build you have to put together. Try it out. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys want to see more builds for other characters that we haven't done, which are the Techno and the Trickster, let me know in the comment section down below. We'll be more than happy to share them with you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.